Yeah, dear student, welcome back to the business study class, and today we continue with the chapter Principle of Management. Clear? So, in the previous class I taught you about the 7 other principles, and we continue ahead with these principles. So, our next principle is centralization and decentralization. Clear? So, concentration of the decision making power in the hand of the one person or persons is called centralization. Where all decisions are taken care by one person only. Clear? But when the authority is assigned to somebody else, in order to diversify yourself or in order to have a growth in your company, you must decentralize your power. Clear? So where there is a disperse, where the authority is dispersed among more than one person, it is called decentralization. So according to the Fayol, there is a need to balance subordinate involvement through decentralization with manager retention of final authority through centralization. So Fayol emphasizes to decentralize the power in order to make yourself grow. Clear? To decentralize the power among your subordinate or peers, and the final decision or retention authority shall be lies in the hand of superior only or senior only. In general, large organizations have more decentralization than a small organization. For example, clear? Now, if your company is highly diversified company, for example, I will give you the example of Tata's. So, Tata's are operating in about 25 divisions. Clear? 6 lakh workers are working. It's a very huge labor. 6 lakh workers are there in Tata's. Clear? And 25 divisions. If Ratan Tata is going to sign the check of all the employees, in a month he is going to sign the check only, and after the 30th day another month will get started. Clear? So if he is going to do everything, the sign all the checks of the payment, he will do this thing only. He will never go for the top level of management. Though he is in the top level of management, if you see the triangle, top, middle and lower, he lies to the top level, but what he is doing? He is doing a simple work, signing the checks. Clear? So this power is decentralized amongst their managers. In several factories, managers are authorized to make the salary according to the rules and regulation of the company, and they will transfer the amount into their respective accounts. So in this way, Tata has decentralized this power, and he belongs to the top level management. So its fundamental duty is to plan. Clear? For the other businesses. So there shall be a total balance between the centralization and decentralization, and final decision making authority shall lies in the hand of senior only. Clear? Another clear cut example is of the panchayats in our country. Clear? Besides the planning done by the central government, panchayat have been given fund to do the local work, and they can spend money according to their need and desire or according to their choice. Clear? At the same time, they can do this work with the help of the MPs, member of parliament. Their fund is also available. If panchayat is not having the fund and still work is pending, they can take the help of the member of parliament, MLAs, collector, district, several other types of the process are available. So central government has given more authority to the panchayat to do the work at local level. Because central government can't take care of each and every panchayat. So this is the clear cut example of centralization and decentralization. Next is scalar chain. Now what does it mean? So an organization consists of the superior and juniors. Clear? An organization consists of superiors and juniors. So according to the Fayol, there shall be clear line of authority from highest to lowest rank, known as a scalar chain. So according to Fayol, organization should have a chain of authority and communication that runs from top to bottom and should be followed by manager and the subordinate. So what Fayol is saying, there shall be clear line of communication between the authority and the persons working under them. Clear? And that runs from top to management. For example, there is a person A, he is taking care of 2 lines. Clear? He has got this is the line of authority. A is the boss and he is maintaining the 2 lines below to them. Clear? Now he is recognized to talk or put his matter to the D or to the A only. Similarly, I is subject to report to the A. Clear? He is not supposed to talk to the any one of the person in the second line. Clear? Similarly, I is not authorized to talk any of this person in the first line. But in case of emergency, they can talk. Clear? In case of emergency, they can talk. For example, a simple salesman is not authorized to talk directly to the CEO. Clear? He is not authorized to talk directly to the A, only in case of exception circumstances. So first he will report to the D will report to the C will report to the N. Finally, matter will go to the A. This is called the formal line of authority of chain and communication. Only in exceptional circumstances he can do. Clear? Right? If anybody breaks this line of authority, this thing is called gangplank. Clear? This thing is called gangplank. So according to the field, this chain should not be violated in normal course of business. Everybody shall follow his or her formal lines of authority and communication. Only in exceptional circumstances this thing is to be broken through the gangplank. This is the shorter route and has been provided so that the communication is not delayed. This is the shorter route, but an organization should always follow the formal lines of authority and communication. Only in exceptional circumstances he can break this thing. If he is not able to contact any one of this thing. This thing is called gangplank. In practice, you will find that worker cannot directly contact the CEO of the company. All she has to then all the formals label. Clear? However, in an emergency, it can be possible that a worker can contact CEO directly. So this is called scalar chain. Clear? Now our next principle is order. Now what does order mean? So according to the fuel, people and material must be in suitable places at appropriate time for maximum efficiency. The principle of order says that man and material shall always be at their right place. A place for everything and everyone in its place. Essentially it means orderliness. If there is a fixed place for everything and it is present here, then there will be no hindrance in the activities of business factory. This will lead to the increased productivity and efficiency. Clear? Similarly, if you are following discipline or orderliness at your home, clear? Whenever light goes or power cut, you can easily find your thing. If you know that at what place you have kept your things. So man and material at their own places. The best example I would like to give is the example of Boeing. Boeings are going to manufacture the aeroplanes, 777, jumbo jet, these type of things. Now they are using 1 lakh type of nut and bolt. 1 lakh type of nut and bolt. So there is one unit design that will find out they fix the day. Clear? For example, on one day they will do the assembly of cockpit. So what nut and bolt are going to be used in the cockpit is to be sort out one team and the labor team has to fit on that day only. You can't delay the work. Otherwise, one single delay in manufacturing the aeroplane will cost them thousands or millions of dollars. So delay is not possible. So they have one unit which is going to find out that which type of nut and bolt are used in which part of the aeroplane, and that is going to finish on that day only. Because they are manufacturing 24 hours in a day in 3 shifts of 8 hours each. So for every shift they have to find out the nut and bolt. So it's a very serious task, and this is only possible with the help of order only. Principle of order. Okay. Next is equity. Next principle is equity. Equity simply means equality amongst the employee. Good sense and experience are needed to ensure fairness to all employees, who should be treated as fairly as possible. According to Foyle, this principle emphasizes kindliness and justice in the behavior of the manager toward worker. This will ensure loyalty and devotion. For example, the best example of this thing is the I will give you about the Japan, because the most disciplined labor in the world is of the Japan, because they are from the army background. Clear? So in Japan, what is Japan? That everyone shall be treated fair and equally, and nobody will be expelled in any situation. Only in exceptional circumstances, when the person is disabled or to any disease, if he or she is not able to work. By doing this thing, what has happened? A sense of loyalty has been developed in the employees towards the organization. So Fayol proposed to treat their employee fairly as soon as maximum as it is possible. Fayol does not rule out the use of the force sometimes. Rather, he said the person should be dealt with externally to send the message. While applying this principle, that this should not be done that any lazy employee will be treated equally. No, a lazy employee shall be dealt with the strict rules and regulation. Fayol propounded this thing. He did not say that you treat efficient and efficient worker at the same level. There should be no discrimination against anyone on the basis of gender, religion, language, caste, belief or nationality, etc. In practice, we can observe that nowadays in multinational companies, peoples of various nationality work together in discrimination-free environment. Okay? And nowadays in MNCs, you will see people of different gender, religion are working, clear, or different nationality. So it's the duty of the senior to treat everyone fairly. Equal opportunities are available for everyone in such companies to rise. Thus, we find India-born CEOs such as Rajat Gupta lead MNCs like McKinsey. Clear? Now you will see that Pepsi is in charge is Indian. Indra Nooyi, Sundar Pichai is handling he is CEO of Google. So how in a multinational multinational company, a person is getting the topmost post by his efforts. Clear? So principle of equity shall be applied everywhere. Next is very good principle, that is called stability of personnel. Stability of personnel means if any person has joined your organization, he or she will serve your organization to a very longer period of the time. Clear? That thing is called what Narayan Murthy has said, that whenever your employee is leaving in the evening, you must ensure that he or she will come tomorrow morning. Treat your employees as an asset and not as liability. One American businessman, Mr. John Branson, what he said, that train your employee in any way that he or she can work in any part of the world. Clear है? कहीं भी वो काम कर सके. And give them such an atmosphere that employee shall never try to leave your organization. Clear? So that thing is very necessary, stability of person. Clear? Any adhesives in this regard will create instability and insecurity among employees. They would tend to leave the organization. Recruitment, selection and training costs will be high, so establishing in the tenure of personnel is good for the business. Clear? Because sometimes to train a person is very costly affairs, and after training employee leaves, it is a loss to the organization. So give such environment in which employee will never think for leaving the organization. Next is initiative. Workers should be encouraged to develop and carry out their plans according to their Fayol. Okay? So initiative means encourage an employee so that they can draw out their own plans for improvement. Initiative means taking the first step in the self-motivation. It is thinking out and executing the plan. It is one of the traits of an intelligent person. Initiative should be encouraged, but it does not mean going against the established practices of the company for the sake of being different. Okay? Initiative means to give an employee a chance. I will give you the example of Tata Magic. Clear? The person involved in that built this Tata Magic on the obsolete technology, single valve engine. This technology has been left in the year 1970. But he was so desperate that even he is ready to sacrifice his salary. Clear? So he talked about this thing about the Ratan Tata, and Ratan Tata gave him chance to develop such type of the cheapest transport vehicle. And it was developed, and nowadays it has been manufactured by 8 companies. Clear? So this thing is called initiative. A good company should have an employee suggestion system where initiative suggestion which result in the substantial cost time reduction should be rewarded. And next and last principle is esprit de corps. What does it mean? Management should promote a team spirit of unity and harmony amongst the employees. According to the Mayor, management should promote teamwork or team spirit amongst their employees. They always remain at the high spirit to do the work, because if you always reward them, encourage them, give a chance to initiative, they will always feel energetic. Clear? In large organization, because otherwise it would be very difficult to attain the objective of the organization. It will also result in loss of coordination. A manager should replace I with we. Manager never said that I have done this work. He used the word that we have done this work. It was not possible to achieve. I give you the example of SCL. Shiv Nadar said that I have alone not done anything. Without my team I am useless or zero. So this will give rise to the spirit of mutual trust and belongingness among team members. It will also minimize the need for using penalties. Clear? So from the ongoing discussion of these 14 principles, it is clear that these 14 principles of management are widely applicable even in the present scenario, though these are more than 1.5 century old principles. But with the change of environment, with the business is done, interpretation of these principles has changed. For example, authority and responsibility mean empowering of the manager, but now it means empowering of employee. Clear? In authority and responsibility, what is happening? Previously, what was there? Empowering the manager, but nowadays, what is the time? Empowering the employee. Because of the flawed organization structure that are gaining around. So we are now in a position to understand the correct connotation of the Pujols principle. Clear? So these are very important and these are the basic guidelines. But as we are studying that environment business is a dynamic, management is a dynamic and continuous process. So according to the need of the time, these are going to be changed. So I hope this thing is useful to you. Thank you.